Hey girlies! Recently I've been binging La Ray's channel. He's a king, we must protect him at all costs. And 2 years ago he did speaking Spanish for 24 hours. So I know some of his friends do speak Spanish. Mario and I don't know who these two are. Let's try to analyze this. By the way, I started saying hey girlies before I started watching him. So I didn't know he said hey girlies as well. Like he said sometimes, but I think he has merch that said hey girlies and I didn't know it. Like okay, and I just found it now.
We all know that one of my old personality traits used to be constantly flexing that I'm Latina.
Oh, so he's Latino but he doesn't speak Spanish? Okay, that's interesting. Like I'm guessing, I think he was born in LA actually. I think he said it. I listened to a podcast that it's called On Point by Luna Montana. She's great, and she has one with him that's amazing, by the way. You should listen to it. And he said, I think he said that he was born in LA. I'm wondering where he's from, because people tend to say that's something that to me it's kind of funny. People usually say I'm Latino instead of saying like I'm Mexican, I'm Cuban. Like I will never say I'm Hispanic. I will always say I'm Spanish. Like even I'm from Spain, but they say like I think they're kind of united in a way, that they're like all Latinos and they're like together, which is cool. Like I'm not criticizing that it's just odd to me, because here I feel like we're kind of in a different vibe because we're Europeans. It's like, and we're not Latinos, so we're like separate from that, although we as well speak Spanish. I don't know, that's it.
3 of my closest friends actually speak fluent Spanish, so I thought,
yeah, that's what I said, that some of them actually like are Hispanic.
Hi guys, what's up? So I'm with my Latinas and Latinos. You're the Latina.
Arriba, bitch.
Would you guys like to introduce?
So I think Mario is Mexican because he has a video in his channel that's like Get Ready With Me in Espanol. I haven't watched it, but in the thumbnail I think there's a Mexican flag. Maybe I'm just not remembering correctly, but I think he's Mexican. And I don't know, the guy in the back, one of them was in one of La Ray's video. He was talking in Spanish, like completely fluent Spanish, and I think that was also a Mexican accent. I'm not really good with accents, so I'm not sure.
Yourselves?
Can I introduce myself in Spanish?
Absolutely.
Hola, me llamo Mario Selman, nací en Chile. Wait, what? I really
Oh, Chile.
fucking biography. Hola, me
I
llamo
think it
Mario
was
Selman,
Mexican.
Chile.
My bad.
Eso es todo.
Mi nombre es Brian Miller, soy de Santa Cruz, Bolivia.
Okay, I did. They're not Mexican, okay? I don't know if that was racist of me, assuming that they were Mexican.
Chile is like this long and skinny country. Super skinny and like South
That's
America.
why you're from there.
Sorry, I'm just laughing to the video, not commenting. Okay, so we have 2 from Chile, 1 from Bolivia, and I don't know if Larry is going to say where what's his ethnicity, I guess, because he's from LA. I don't know if he's going to say, but if he doesn't speak Spanish, like...
And I'm also really good at like body language, so I feel like if you're talking in Spanish, I'll understand what you're saying by like the way you're talking or like vocalizing and the way you're moving.
Ay,
Word.
sos una perra.
You call me a bitch. All I know is one word and I'm like, okay, so you just call
Oh,
me a
perra.
That's true. Like I get really scared about like thinking if I not move to another country but like visit another country, and if it's like I want to go to Korea for instance, and I think they're not going to understand me, and some people are not going to speak English and obviously not Spanish. I never want to go to these countries where they might not speak neither Spanish or English, but then it's like people who just speak. Like I know people in Spain. So here's the thing. I think people in Spain don't really speak English. I will say young people nowadays do, because most schools now are bilingual. And even if I'm gonna sound so old right now, like in my times, we will study English at school. So in the list you kind of speak English, but I feel like old people, even not like super old, but from 30 or 40, many people here do not speak English, so they just go with Spanish, and they go to again like a country where it's like they're not going to speak Spanish at all, and they understand each other, which is kind of crazy to me, that just people with their gestures and stuff. Like I get really scared. Like I feel like I need to know every single language ever, and it's like you actually can make yourself understandable with it, which is crazy to me. So one thing that I want to point out, because he said, I'm going to try to understand you, and he said, I'm Latino, but don't they learn Spanish at school? Like I'm guessing this is like the level that I have in French, because I studied French for 6 years in like middle school and high school. In Spanish, in Spain it's different. It's like you get 6 years, you get kindergarten, then 6 years of primary school, then it's 4 years, and that's kind of middle school, I guess, and then 2 years of high school instead of they have like 4 years of high school, right? Like it's kind of different, but those 4 and 2 years I studied French, and right now I couldn't form a sentence in French. So I'm guessing this is his case, like he has probably studied Spanish at some point, but like not a lot and not really good, I'm guessing.
¿Quieres comer algo?
Quiero comer culo.
Quiero comer
quiere comer culo.
Vamos a comer culo.
Él lo hace artísticamente.
Like that's how I picture me in a different country, but without the laughs, without being funny, just like what is going on right now.
Yeah, okay. Okay, wait, I'm gonna actually try to communicate. Tú, that means you, right? Tú, chupapito. ¿Sí?
No.
You guys know Rosalina?
Es Rosalía, tontito.
Why does he know like the insults? Just know the insults. By the way, they mentioned Rosalia. She's Spanish. I feel like.
Y si tú no pones el GPS, yo voy a solo seguir.
Are you cursing me out in Spanish? Bitch, chinga tu madre.
Bitch, I don't know what the fuck that.
He literally just know the insults. Why does he know so many insults? So something, wow, that this frame is amazing. Something that I realized with, Larry is not speaking Spanish, so I'm going to analyze the rest of them. Something that I realized with Spanish is that most Latinos, like in Latinos, in Latinos countries, en países latinos, in Latinos, okay, in Latam, they usually say yo, like I, a lot, and in Spanish it's not necessary to say your pronoun. Like if you say I want to eat, you don't need to say yo quiero comer. We will just say quiero comer. But I feel like in most Latino countries they do use a lot, like Mario was just talking, like in a sentence he said yo like 5 times. Can we count it?
I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Pon el GPS o si no voy a seguir. Y si tú no pones el GPS, yo voy a solo seguir.
Are you cursing?
He said, y si tú no pones el GPS, yo voy a seguir. Like, I wouldn't say that. Like, I just say, si no pones el GPS, voy a seguir, without the pronouns. That's just like a thing. But he wasn't using the sentence before, so I don't know if that's a thing, or if it's just like how he said it in that moment.
Teniendo.
Oh, I know that song. It's gonna That's Rosalia. It's Spanish. So something that people who speak English do a lot when speaking Spanish is overpronounce every single letter. Stop making noises. They overpronounce a lot the letters, but because in English you do that. Like you say hello, and the L is like so long, so when they say hola, they say hola, and they say, I think it's so funny when they say ole, because it's like ole. Like that's okay. Like accents are completely fine. I feel like there's a misconception about it, and it's like as long as you're making yourself eloquent enough, you can articulate the words, it's okay to have an accent. Like you don't have to lose the accent, you just have your own and just speak another language with your accent. That's absolutely fine. I think people feel like they should just not have any accent at all and just pronounce like they're whatever, you know, if they're Spanish or American or whatever their language is, but it's not necessarily. Like if you are making yourself understandable, that's fine.
Tengo que ir al baño.
What the fuck are you trying to brainwash me?
Tengo que ir al baño, boludo.
Okay. I can't stop laughing. I can analyze this video. I can't stop laughing. Another thing different between this has become a differences between Latinos and Spanish people. They say boludo, and I thought that was just from Argentina, but he said he's from Bolivia, and I don't know if they have said it. I think they've said another word that I thought it was from another Latino country. I feel like if you're trying to learn Spanish, you have to really differentiate between Spain Spanish, and I don't know if a specific Latino country or just in general Latam Spanish, because there are a lot of differences in the language. If you don't know this, I have a main channel where I speak Spanish, and it's a regular channel, and I'm reacting to a show that's from Argentina, and I literally do not understand full sentences. Like, there are some sentences that I don't understand a single word because there are so many words that are different. I think it's kind of like Britain and the United States and Canada. I feel like it's kind of the same, like Canada and United States, and then Britain, Australia. I think that's kind of it, like that's the difference. There are many words that are different. The accent is really different. I'm just curious to know if most Latin countries are kind of the same, just they have different words, but most of them are like kind of the same thing. And then us is just the different. Let me know if you're Latino. Let me know if you're Hispanic from Latin America. Are all the countries like kind of the same? I mean, it's the same language. How do I say it? It's like it's really, really similar, or there are a lot of words that are different, just like Spanish is from yours. You know what I'm saying?
El segundo.
El segundo means uno. Segundo? Segundo. How do I say shut the fuck up, you dumbass bitches? Y'all don't know what you're talking about, and get the fuck out of my car in Spanish?
Something that I realized that Larry says, I think by the gestures I can tell what you're saying, and this I don't remember his name. I think it's Brian. He was literally saying el segundo, and Larry was like, that's the first one, because he was just looking at the distance. I feel like sometimes, and with el baño the same, like he was saying, I know what el baño means, but he was like, I'm not sure. I think he wasn't sure. He didn't want to actually say it, like if it was the bathroom. And sometimes that happens a lot, that we are just insecure about what we actually know with a language, and we're just trying to not be involved with the conversation just because we assume we're not going to understand. Like I just said I cannot form a sentence in French. That's actually a lie. I can, but it will be really difficult for me, and I will have to pay a lot of attention. The pronunciation will be completely off. So that's why sometimes we just say I can't do it, and we just not trying. This was so intense all of a sudden, but you get what I'm saying, right?
How do I say I want an iced white mocha?
No, you don't. Like, you kind of just like, it's just Spanish people kind of morph. You say it in a Spanish accent, okay?
Ice white. Tenemos una ice white mocha.
Okay, so say it for me.
Tienen una ice white mocha.
We said that too in Starbucks. Their names are in English. I just realized that I went yesterday. I was just thinking someone who speaks Spanish, someone who doesn't speak Spanish, I think they're bound to go to Starbucks, not only because they already know the franchise, but because all of the names are in English. So it's like, if it's even difficult for us, if you don't speak English, you're probably not going to Starbucks because everything is in English. Like the menu, it's all in English.
Cierra el tuyo. Cierra el tuyo. Ciérralo.
Okay, so another thing that it's hard to, if you're learning Spanish and you're not sticking to one accent, he said cierra to say close. We say cierra, so it's like, it doesn't sound so different, but if you're learning it from starter, it's going to sound so different. And it's like, if they said it and you understand them, you're not going to understand me when I say it. It's the same with Britain and like English Britain and English American. It's kind of that vibe. What I said before, that's a sweatshirt that says girlies. Okay. I'm going to stop stealing it, although I didn't know I was stealing it.
5, 6, 7, 8. Right, left, right.
See, this is another thing. I think most Latino dances are kind of similar, like bachata, salsa, even, I don't know, like tango maybe. They're kind of that vibe that with the hips and kind of sensual in a way. And in Spanish it's so different. Like the biggest typical dance is flamenco, and there's like different kinds of it, but it's so different from that if you're like, oh, you're Spanish, you know how to dance it. It's like, I don't know how to dance flamenco to be honest, but it's like, it's so different. And I think Spain is viewed sometimes like it's a Latino country, and it's like, it's so not. Like in some ways we're so different.
Larry, ¿me vas a quitar de nuestra casa donde vivimos tan feliz y con tanto amor?
Larry, ¿por qué?
¿Cómo me vas a hacer esto, Larry? Larry!
Larry, por favor.
What? Ramón es un mentiroso. Yo nunca te haría algo así. Es un mentiroso, él te mintió.
Why is he yelling at me?
Calm down, babe.
Okay, so obviously they don't know how to dance or be good.
So they were like reenacting a telenovela, like a soap opera, and I think in Spain there aren't exactly soap operas. Like there are, but just like any dramatic TV show that can be in any country. But I feel like in Latino countries, India, maybe Turkey, they have that telenovela vibe. I don't think Spain has that really. Like we just have dramatic shows, but not really. We're more like funny shows. I feel like there's a lot of comedy in Spain.
Oh, is that a gringo?
¡Llama a la policía! ¡Llama a la policía!
Ustedes son gay, no lo puedo creer. En mi...
Oh, that's interesting. He said ustedes. So in Spain, ustedes will be used. Ustedes is you, like you said, you saw the subtitles, is you. But in Spain, if you say usted or ustedes, it's such a formal way of speaking. Like you would just say that to maybe old people. I don't really use that for old people, but like if you're in a job interviews or like sometimes professors, I haven't used that either, but like in a really formal way you say usted. But in Latin America they use that normally just to say you. So that's interesting. If you want a part 2, I can do this part 2. Just let me know in the comments. Let me know if you're from Latam. Let me know if I was right with the things I said, because I'm not sure. If you're not, or if you are, let me know questions you have about Spain or Spanish. Just let me know assumptions that you have about Spain. I could do one video about it. Just let me know. And subscribe if you want to become a Spaniard dog. You know the deal. And I'll see you in the next video.